Are you kidding me? This machine from Meraki is going to blow Breville out of the water completely. It's so packed full of features, but there's one that I absolutely love. I can't wait to tell you about, so let's check it out. G'day mate, my name's Ride and I can't wait to tell you about all the features of this new machine from Meraki. It's a dual boiler machine and it's gorgeous, but it's not just beautiful looking, it's absolutely stuffed to the ceiling with features that gonna make any home barista, new or advanced, just fall in love with coffee all over again. And not only that, it's going to put Breville on notice because they have dominated the market for dual boilers, home barista machines, integrated grinders for such a long time, but this machine is literally going to be a Breville killer. Now, I don't normally advocate for what I refer to these machines as appliance coffee machines. However, this is so solidly built with so many useful features, not just gimmicky ones, that I would really advocate for this brand and this particular machine. Because appliance machines don't tend to last very long and they don't make great coffee. However, in the case of Meraki, I believe this machine is going to last a very long time and I already know that it makes extraordinary coffee. And I actually believe they've created a new genre in the appliance market that puts this in the luxury appliance market. So let's talk about what makes this machine so special. Well, for starters, it looks beautiful. I mean, the way it's designed is beautiful. You have a huge display here, got a lovely long steam wand here. You've got your grinder built in here. And the way that it's all packaged nice and tidy, they've really gone to length to design it in a way that not just looks impressive, but looks luxe. Even the color. I'm so bored with the brushed aluminium style that Breville and all the other bunch of appliance machines pop out. It's so nice to see something in a matte black, very sleek, very modern. It is a little bit plasticky in parts, like there are plastic parts here, but it looks very beautiful and there are very solid components to it, inside and external, that make it just take it to that next level. But it isn't just the looks that puts it above the other appliance machines. It's also packed filled with all these features that I'll get to in a bit that are really useful. And I'm genuinely impressed with how many features they've managed to stack into this machine for the price. And it's pretty cheap. It's going currently on Kickstarter for just over $1,000 which is about 1,500 Australian dollars, which is incredibly cheap compared to what a Breville Oracle will cost you, which is $4,000, $5,000 plus. And it has more features than any Oracle machine I've seen. And it's like they've thought about every barista need, new and advanced, and they've packed it into this machine. And I want to be clear that Meraki did reach out to me and they did send me this unit. It's a prototype in exchange for doing this review. However, I've gone through it very thoroughly. I'm not going to be swayed by the fact that they sent this machine to me for free. I'm going to tell you straight up how it is, all the things I love about it, and all the things that I'm not really a fan of. But I want to be very transparent with you, because if you're going to invest in a machine like this or back it on Kickstarter, then you want to be clear that you know what you're getting into, because backing anything on Kickstarter is a risk, of course, and you could wait until it's firmly established and then purchase it. But I will tell you all the things that are great and the things that are not so great about it, and you can make that decision on your own. And also, if you like these sort of videos, tap that like button, tap that subscribe, help this video get out there to as much of many people as you can. So as I said before, it's a dual boiler, which means it can do coffee and milk at the same time, which is great. You don't have to wait for one to warm up or one to cool down. It has a built-in grinder. It has a huge water reservoir at the back, which is fantastic. A 2-liter water reservoir, which is great. You can make as many coffees as you like before having to refill it. I love the steam wand here. And even though it is a fairly hefty unit, it's very solidly built. And remember, it has a grinder built into it. And firstly, I want to talk about the grinder, because normally I wouldn't advocate for any machine to have a built-in grinder. And if you were buying any other machine, I would say just don't do it. Don't buy a built-in grinder. And the reason is because any coffee grinder that's built into your machine is going to release fine coffee dust into the rest of your machine. It's going to mix with moisture. It's going to mix with heat. And there's electronics in there. And what happens when all of those things combine together? you get corrosion, and then your very expensive, beautiful machine becomes a very expensive, beautiful piece of junk. And that's why I would always say, buy a separate grinder. However, it's like Meraki already recognized that you shouldn't have done that. And they have built it completely siloed. So the grinder here is completely on its own. And yes, it's attached on the base, but the engineering and everything sits within this grinder itself, and nothing gets into the rest of the machine. So there's no transference of heat, there's no moisture, and there's no electronics that are going to end up corroding from your coffee dust. They've thought about that this machine really needs to be built to stand the test of time. And the grinder itself, they've actually partnered with Timor. Timor is quite a reputable brand that builds a lot of really quality grinders. You would have seen my video on the Timor Sculptor. These are fantastic grinders. And inside here, they've sort of replicated one of their hand grinders with 37mm conical burrs, and it's a stepless grinder. So what does that mean? That means that you effectively have an infinite number of different grind sizes that you can hone in and get that perfect extraction. Whereas, say, something like the DeLonghi Specialista, it has 8 grind sizes. And then remember, that ranges from espresso right up to cold brew. Even the Oracle only has 45, 10 of which might be useful for espresso. Well, this has 30 points, but unlimited different positions, which means you're never going to be stuck having it too coarse or too fine because it doesn't fit between those steps. And not only that, it actually has an integrated scale. Well, it's got 2 scales, but there's one for the grinder alone. So what you do is you just set the dose amount, not time, don't have to worry about any of that. You just say, I want it to have 18 grams in my cup. You pop the little doser underneath. It's magnetic. It plies into there. You just split grind. You do have to manually set the grind adjustment, but that's fine. You set grind and it doses out 18 grams down to the 0.1 of a gram. So if you wanted to go 18.5, 18.3, whatever, it'll dose out exactly as that. And I have measured it, weighed it, compared to precision scale, and it's within 0.1, 0.2. So it's very, very accurate. And not only that, it has a declumper in there. It has a great anti-static feature in there, which means that your coffee comes out nice and fluffy, doesn't make a mess anywhere, goes straight into the doser, and then you transport it straight into your portafilter. It is like they've thought of everything. And the portafilter itself is excellent too, because it is a double spouted one. However, this is ingenious. They've designed it in a way that just pops out and it turns into a naked portafilter. And this is just a rubber seal around here, but it's very, very tight. And I love that. Some of them must unscrew and that takes a bit of time and it feels like you might be grating against the actual thread. Others could be plastic, but this is metal. I love the way that rubber seals. Now that may break down over time, but so far that is super solid. And the timber, everything about this is 58mm portafilter. It's professional, it's solid, it's quality. I love this is stainless steel. This is stainless steel. Some could argue that 2 stainless steels, one's going to have to give out. Let's hope it's your portafilter, not your group head. In the original designs, I think they had plastic ears, but they've now gone to a full stainless steel, both the carrier and the portafilter. So it makes it so much more solid. Now, the next thing I should talk about is the display, because I think this is where it really, really shines. This display is so responsive. You can see it went to sleep there. When it defaults to 3 settings, so your grinder, your portafilter, your brew, and your steam one. So you'll just transfer your grind straight into your portafilter. Then you'll pop on here. Now it has all the different display settings here. So you would want to say it's default to 36 grams, which if you're doing an 18-gram dose, you want to double that. That's the standard recipe for a ratio of 1 to 2. So 36 grams out. However, if you want to, you can just set it to go 32, 33, or you can go 38 for 39. You can even go right up to a lungo, and it tells you on the side here, 72 grams, whatever you want there. So you can really just play around with finding that right dose for you. Now, once you've done that, you press OK, and then you can change the temperature to be 96, 98, whatever temperature you want it to be. So you can really hone in and play around with different temperatures to get that extraction. So that's a bit of an advanced thing. You don't have to worry about that if you're a newbie, but if you're an advanced barista, that's something that you'll really appreciate, because coffee comes in different roast types, light roast, medium roast, dark roast, and everything in between. and you want to play around with the temperatures to extract all of those beautiful oils. But if you don't know, it just is defaulted to 96, and then you can just set that and then extract your coffee. And the coffee comes out beautifully because it has a rotary pump inside. A lot of the appliance machines, like the Oracles, they just have a vibratory pump, which is fine. Vibratory pumps, standard, they've been around for a long time. But the rotary pump just gives it that next level of precision, because the pressure stability is greater, which means that your shot isn't going to waver. Like a vibratory pump will waver in shots. You might get some 8-bar pressure and you might get some 9-bar pressure. This will always be very, very stable. That's one of the fantastic features, which means that your coffee isn't going to fluctuate in its flavors. So when it's extracting, it'll actually show you the amount, the weight of that desired output and how far along it is. It actually has a little timer to show you how far along it is, and it tells you the seconds that it's been from since the beginning. So you can know that you're aiming for that 36 gram extraction within that 27 to 32 second range. And if it drips and it doesn't come out and it takes 50 seconds to extract it, a little message will come up afterwards saying your coffee is too fine or your coffee poured too slowly. So then you know, okay, I need to adjust the grind coarser to make it flow a bit faster. If it goes through in 10 seconds, it'll actually say your coffee poured too fast, and then you can fine your grind. So it's actually helping you troubleshoot your coffee extraction. So if you're a newbie and you just don't know anything and you just set it to 18 grams, 36 grams out, bang, oh, it tastes really burnt and bitter, you can read the little part up here and it will actually tell you, yeah, you need to make your grind a bit coarser, which is so good. And I just think that is such a unique feature. But it's not even the best one. Hang out for that one. Now, the steam wand is probably one of my favorite features because A, it's huge. It has full rotation, so you can do a full, I don't know why you'd want it, but you could steam your milk over the back if you just felt like it. But you don't have to worry about those dinky little ones underneath that the Breville and other coffee machines have. This is huge. Size matters, guys. I'm sorry to say it, but this is a huge steam wand, and I love that they've built it. It's a cool touch, so you're not going to burn yourself. And it has a temperature sensor right in the bottom here. So what you can do is you can set your desired temperature for the milk and have it hit that mark very precisely in a matter of seconds. And because this is such a powerful machine, this actually only takes about maybe 8 to 10 seconds. You can count it. I don't know exactly how long it will take, but I'm going to steam you some milk on here because this is so gorgeous. And I'm going to show you the feature that I absolutely love. That's not even, I don't think, intentional, but it's something I really love. So let's say I want my temperature at 62 degrees Celsius. All right. Now I can have it to go strong, medium, or light in terms of the aggressiveness of the steam. But I like to have, a nice latte if I wanted to that. So I'll leave it on strong. And I'll just show you how easy it is to make milk on this because it is absolutely insane. So all you need to do is you pour in, let's say, 8 ounce, and it's got your little measurements on the inside of the cup here. So let's say we're going to use it for this cup. And just put this so that it's just outside of the water, so it only has a little bit in there. Now, I want to set my temperature to 62. I just press play. It's stretching it on its own. I don't even have to use my hands, and I get really, really silky milk. Yes, I know the Breville Oracle does that as well. However, the milk is insane. Like, I think this is almost as good as me. And I said almost. Super, super quick. Like we can see here, we're at 50 degrees already. You can tell me how long that takes. But I reckon that's faster than the Breville. There you go. It's ready. Love that. Wipe down. Even has a flush function. Just go like that. There you go. It's flushed. And I don't know if you can tell here. You might be able to see how silky that milk is. That is super silky. It's going to give you the best latte art. Literally didn't have to do anything except press the play button. You know that? Oh my goodness. And there you go. Beautiful coffee machine made super easy, fully tailored to whatever I wanted to do. I think that in itself speaks volumes about the sort of solid machine that this is. All of those features plus a ton more. There's pre-infusion settings. You can change the measurement type. So if you want to do it in Fahrenheit, you can. You can change the language. There's a cleaning cycle. Connects to your Wi-Fi. So if you need to download updates over time, they're going to improve the UI. They're going to improve some of the features on there. And there's a scheduling, which is fantastic because you can actually schedule your coffee machine to turn on at a certain time throughout the day, multiple times. You can have it on in the morning, one in the afternoon, and you can have it set differently, fully customizable throughout every day of the week. So let's say you want to sleep in on Sundays, have that late morning coffee. You can then set it to wake up at 9 o'clock and make your coffee at 9:30 or whatever. It is super quick to heat up originally, like it boils the water, gets all your steam ready within about a couple of minutes. Obviously, you still need to wait for the group head to come super hot. Like that will take 10 minutes or so, or you can force it along. But you'll be ready within about 10 minutes to go to make it perfect extracted coffee. And there's a ton more features that I can't even cover in this already long video, which you can go into, you can look up on the website and check them out. But now I can tell you about my favorite thing, which I think makes this machine very, very special. On top here is an RFID chip reader. Now, I didn't get the beans, but I think when this goes to production, they're going to deliver some beans with it. And on there is an RFID chip. You just rub that magically over the top. It downloads the recipe as the roaster wanted into your machine. And it tells you what the grind size should be, what the grind amount, what the ratio to the extraction will be. It's really got everything, so you don't even have to worry about it. If you're a newbie to coffee and you don't know anything about it, you're not sure what to do, how to adjust all the parameters, and it's a bit overwhelming, you don't worry because it's fantastic for a roaster like myself. I can send you beans with an RFID chip, and I can download all of that info directly into the machine, and all you need to do is measure. You need to change the grind setting to the desired point, which it actually guides you to. It can give you information on the coffee to expand your coffee knowledge, telling you where the region is that it comes from, the sort of flavors you can expect, and maybe who the roaster is. There's a lot more, I reckon, down the track with this machine because of this Wi-Fi capability. It's super smart, and you'll just be able to download whatever information you need to or that they want to send to you over time. So I think that makes this machine so special, and that's only just scratching the surface. All in all, this is a fantastic machine with very little downside that I've come across. However, the major thing for me, and I will be straight with you guys, is that this is a startup company. This is not an established brand. This is not an Italian brand that's been around 150 years. It is brand new. So there is a bit of a risk of the unknown of what this company will do. Will it be around in 10 years' time to service your machine if you need it? I'm not sure. But the risk is kind of low because it's only $1,000 on Kickstarter, and if you're backing it, you know, you're going to get a good solid machine. It comes with a 2-year standard warranty. So there's no guarantees that even a Breville machine will last you very long at all. In fact, I've had 4 different Breville machines, mostly the dual boilers, fail on me within 5 years. So again, just because you're buying from a massive brand doesn't mean that they're going to be there in the long run. So I think taking a risk on a small brand, and I love the fact these little guys can come in and disrupt those massive behemoths that have been dominating the appliance world for so long, and pack in all of these features to really look after you, the barista, rather than their bottom line or their profit margins. And really, other than the unknown of how this startup company might look after you, there's not really many downsides to the actual coffee machine itself. Even if it only gets you 4 years and it gives you that experience of making what the best tasting coffee can be like, to give you that platform, that stepping stone to to take that leap to the next level of coffee machine, I think that's worth it. So the other little gripes I have about it, not really that big. The drip tray probably for me is one of the biggest ones. Yes, it doesn't splash. That's one of the features. That's one of the designs. However, it's got all these little holes underneath. So underneath this part, there's a lot of little parts which are all tiny holes. And I don't know if you can see here, but the milk from the steam one gets into there. And if you don't clean it out every single time, then it dries up in there. Stinks. Of course, off milk smells pretty awful. But not only that, when I went to clean it, it's really hard to get into between the holes. And you need a little pokey thing to just go in there and clean it. It wasn't fun. And I think that might be something they could improve in the design, but it's like a small, tiny thing. The other thing was just being able to use the water tap under here. It only delivers 100-degree water, which is fine if you are having a long black and you're happy to burn the crap out of your mouth. but it would be nice to like be able to lower it down. Now, this might just be the prototype restrictions. Maybe they're looking at that for the, I think in the future they could do that. It doesn't have a pressure gauge anywhere, so you never really know what bars you're getting and if you're losing pressure throughout your shot. Again, because it's so smart, maybe they'd be able to build in a display that shows you the pressure as a digital gauge. I don't know if they have the pressure gauge inside there anyway, but that would be a nice little thing to have, just to know, okay, am I losing pressure during a shot? Is my puck crack open? Those are things that you might want to add to it. But again, they're more advanced features, so you're not really having to worry about that. And there were some other minor issues with the interface. I think with the grinder, sometimes if it's not put in perfectly, it comes up with put your grinder in properly. And I feel like I have, and it says press OK when you have, and just flicks back to the same screen and did it over and over and over again. Eventually I just spammed it and it sort of fixed itself. But that was a little bit of annoying, but I think they're all just teething issues. I don't think that they're going to be a problem in the long run. And obviously nothing mechanical was failing. I loved everything about the experience of it. It was just a few minor UI things. Really very small. And in terms of what you get, the bang for buck, this is insane. Really, I think, Breville, you've been put on notice. Up your game. Stop charging everyone so much. Start making better features, nicer machines, and look how Meraki are doing it. All in all, I think it's a fantastic machine. I think it's so cheap comparatively, and I think it's worth taking the risk, even with the unknown of how they might perform in 10 years. But check back with me in a couple of years and see how I'm going. If you like this video, tap subscribe, hit the like button. I'm Ride, your coffee coach, and as always, enjoy your brew.